Sunny. Sunny is an artist and he is a fashion designer. From what I saw from his clothes have rich history and art stitched onto one seamless piece. His clothes are worn by NBA players such as Jay Tatum from Boston Celtics, Tyler Hero from Miami Heat, and I'm lucky to consider him as a friend, and we are lucky over here that we have him as our guest speaker for today. So without further ado, Sunny, please come to the stage. Okay. All right. This is my first time public speaking, so bear with me. First time with a mask on too. So yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody for inviting me and my wife to come speak. TJ, thanks for giving me the opportunity. My name's Sunny. I run a clothing brand, Sevin Kasran. My partner, he isn't here, so I'll be pulling his end of the weight here. So, where do I start? I'm from here, Kamloops. I grew up here, and I attended TRU probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I thought I wanted to be a teacher. That didn't really work out. I listened to my parents. I'm Indian. Their culture has a big influence on us, so I listened to them. I got married early when I was 19. I did end up graduating, and then I was just hit a rock bottom in my life. I kind of turned to drugs and alcohol, and it wasn't a happy life for me. So I, like everybody else, I did work on myself. Sorry, I'm lost here. I went inwards, I worked on myself, and sorry, I don't even know where I'm at right now, and this is not good, so bear with me. But, sorry, yeah, I just worked on myself. I started my brand. I don't even know where I'm at right now, sorry.
You can choose to read from the screen if you want.
I'm just not good at this. I'm usually just, if you ask me questions, I answer them. I'm not really good at talking about myself, to be honest with you. I'm really not. I'm a very creative person. I started working on myself. Like I said, I was married early. I got a divorce. I finished school from my parents. I think we all struggle with who we are inside, and I have a responsibility as an artist and with my practice is to uplift people. And I have 2 daughters on my own, and I know how hard it is to struggle in school and to make big life decisions. And life's all about these minor decisions that we make. They're just so crucial, So in my life, I just asked myself, is this what I want? At that time it wasn't, and I started to look inwards. I got off social media. I stopped drinking. I started to work on myself. And the people that were around me hated it, even my own parents. The people that I thought that loved me. And my mom and dad loved me, they did everything for me, but me as an individual, I needed to grow, and I needed to listen to within. I made that decision. I figured out what I wanted to do with my life. It's not cut and dry. I wish I could come here and tell you this crazy story that I turned into this crazy entrepreneur, but I just learned, and I wasn't willing to give up, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer, and I wanted it. I wanted my life, I want to impact people. I want to help people. Fashion's my medium. My first interaction with fashion was shoes. I was 5 years old. I'll still never forget this day. My mom bought me my first pair of Nikes, And I didn't want to get them dirty, so I put them in a bag and walked to school. And at recess, I put them on, and it just, my father's an alcoholic, and my mother works so hard, and I had to raise my little brothers all on my own. And like, when I put my clothes on, I don't need to answer those questions. It's like I'm me, I'm different. No one's gonna ask me, what's going on at home. And I was able to express myself in a different way. And it's quite sad, but it's my story. I was able to hide and be someone that I always wanted to be, and fashion allowed me to do that. And that was my first interaction with fashion. And then obviously as it goes, keep going, you get a little bit of money. That's all I wanted. I didn't buy toys. I didn't care for any of that stuff. My mom was a seamstress. She loved dressing up, beautiful gowns, and I was just so in love with that. In my culture, I'm not allowed to be. It's like, you get shunned upon, you get looked at differently. Doctor, or do this, and don't have tattoos, and don't get a nose ring. It's just a lot of pressure all the time, this pressure. And they're in charge of your biggest decisions. My love life, my career, when am I going to have kids? It's like, man, I have no control over that. And so you just kind of lose your marbles. But, the one piece of advice that I give people is turn inwards, not outwards. And now this day and age, it's easy to hop on social, get all this input and just this is what I should be doing, this is what I should be doing. But turn inwards, ask yourself those difficult questions, really ask yourself these questions. Who am I as a human being? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do with my life? Call me crazy, but I'm here to change the world. And I'm going to do that, and I'm doing that now. And so it doesn't matter what people think about. I do. I believe in that. My children, my 2 daughters, they're going to grow up in a different world. Me as an artist, I have a responsibility to design my humanity the way I see it. And so my children grow up being half black and Indian. They're not going to go through what I did. They're not going to be called these racial slurs. They're not going to do these things and go through these things. And I'm sure they're going to get their fair share of knockdowns, but me as a parent, but me also as a citizen, I have a responsibility, and as an artist, that's my job. It's deeper than clothes for me. I just don't make clothes just for the sake of making clothes, and it's deeply rewarding when all celebrities and people, want to wear my stuff, and it's exciting. That means my message is getting out there. But the most important thing, and that's always been my job, is come back and share my story with people, inspire this generation that comes behind me, and reason for getting into fashion in the first place, because I don't see people like me doing things like this. I really don't, and for an industry that has, anybody but somebody looking like me, it's super important. I grew up wanting to be a basketball player, and then I realized, where are all the Indian basketball players? There's none. Scratch. I can't do that, right? It's right away. It's so, when you're so small, you dream so big, and it gets crushed so fast. We don't realize that, a dream is just, it's the size of a mustard seed. It's so tiny, and anybody can just come and stomp it, and it's out. But if you put that seed in, you cover it, you soil it, you guard it, you put water it, you protect it, and it grows up, grows and grows and grows and grows. Now it's an oak tree. Now they're going to have to come at you with some axes and a couple other people to take you down. It's not that easy. And for me as a child, that was so hard hearing it, from other people, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. Where do you see somebody like you doing that? And that's my responsibility now. I take that on a goal. Now when my clothes are going to be in stores, I want that child to walk in there and be like, I know this guy. He looks like me. I can do this. I can hang with you. This is a field that I can do. I can make a difference. And so I hope to do that. I hope that's my goal. That's what God has placed in my mind, and that's what I hope to accomplish. And so far so good. And I don't really like talking about myself. So, I Q&As, if you got questions, I'd love to answer them. But like I said, I'm very shy. I don't really like. I'm not shy, but I just don't really like talking about myself. And you know, yeah. So if there's anything else you guys want to know, just any questions or whatever. Just that was really, really personal. Yeah, you can say for sure. That was really personal.